To the Vols and Out podcast. Swanny here running point tonight. To my left, I'm joined by the man with all the stats, the father of Vols and Out, Jordan Montcastle. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm anxious about how this team looks moving forward, or how just the landscape of college football in general, but we'll get into that shortly. To my right, we're joined by a show regular. You're a regular. You're not a guest anymore. You're on the show. The man who recovered the fumble. That fumble. You know what I'm talking about. 1998 national champion Billy Ratliff. Billy, it's always a pleasure to have you on. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad to be on, man. Glad to be on. Miss you guys.
We always miss Big Bill. Big Bill.
You know, when you first started doing this, I was like, man, that's really cool that he would take time to talk to us. And then, but now I kind of see you as a friend, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool that relationship has developed. I'm going to start tonight with some of the things that I missed since the last time I was on. The last time I was on Balling Out was September 8th. It was the Monday going into the Georgia game, and I got on here and was adamant that we were winning. Also, I think I got shamed by Billy because my score prediction was a high score. I think I said 38-34, and you're like, no way it gets that high. So I did get that right, but I do need to eat my crow on the Georgia game, and I have a couple of thoughts about it. Number one, and I guess this is my hottest take about the Georgia game, and since then I've gone back and thought about all the painful losses that we've endured over the years. 2017 Florida Hail Mary, Georgia State, LSU, 13 men on the field. They all hurt in a different way. I really think that this year's Georgia game is the most painful loss I've ever experienced. Do either of you all disagree with that or agree, or why?
Agree, man, because I counted that as a win on my list. And that should have been a win because truly the score don't truly show how bad we truly beat Georgia that game, though, man. I go back and I watch it. We dominated Georgia for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even pretty, man. I mean, it was like we shocked them. They didn't know what was going on. It was like, hold on now, is this really Tennessee? I don't know what they did. They shook the dice or whatever, shook the pair of cards and just said, hey, let's go to overtime. My gosh. And then when that happened, I knew what time it was.
You know, I don't know if that was the most painful loss I've watched in a while. I think that one might have been. I think for me, just because I hate them, it was watching Mount Cody block 5 field goals against us at 9. Or that LSU game was that LSU game is definitely a top 3 for me too. Georgia State, I don't even care in the grand scheme of things about that one anymore.
It was just embarrassing.
I don't. It was. That's all that one was. I think the Florida Hail Mary one, that one was up there.
I was sad for a week. I was legitimately depressed.
But my thing with that one is this is, to me, with the Georgia game this year, to me, games like that, whenever you lose those games, but you're competitive with a team that you've not beat for 8 years, and that's absolutely beating the brakes off of you, and you dominate them for 3.5 quarters, you're like, okay, we're back on the scene. And I think that the playoffs shows you a little bit more mercy with games like that, as opposed to, BCS era. You lose one game early, and it don't matter if it's a good team that beats you, and if it's close or not, typically you're done. So there's two sides to it. It sucked to watch. It sucks. I knew whenever we went into overtime and they ran it right down our throat, first play of the game. First play of overtime, I knew right then what was fixing to happen.
Yeah, I think I texted you when that happened. As soon as I turned it off when he got that run, I was like, if we win, that's cool. I'll watch it later, but I'm not going to watch us lose. I don't. I'm just kind of wired that way. Like I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
But I stayed right there with it till the end, and I don't know, man. It was. I'm going to say this. I put that one on. And I hate to do it, but I put it on hype because he had his opportunity when we recovered that fumble to throw the knockout punch, and the man played for a field goal. Get it. You eat that clock, you play for the field goal, but you throw the knockout punch against a team like that when the opportunity is given to you. And the opportunity was gift wrapped and gave to him right then and there. And because we threw all over him. I mean,
Yeah.
just all over him all game. And he didn't take the opportunity to put it away right then. If he puts that one away, Georgia goes home with their first loss of the year, and they're sitting here with 2 losses right now.
I will say, so you mentioned the 09 Bama game. That one did hurt as well. I think that 09 Bama and 2010 LSU, we weren't supposed to really compete with those teams. And so
Right.
losing that close, it sucked, but I don't think it hurt. 2017 Florida hurt me more because we should have beat them. We should have beat them in the swamp for the first time, and at that point, 15 years.
Yeah.
This one takes the cake for me, and it's for a lot of the reasons you guys have just said. We had them on the ropes. We had them at home. Neyland was electric. The series is over now. We don't play Georgia every year anymore. So the series ends on a 9-game losing streak to Georgia. We played well. I think we were those 2 injuries in the secondary away from beating them pretty handily because they picked on the freshman, Redmond. They picked on him all day. We should have won. We should have won. We played well enough to win, and you come away from that game looking for somebody to blame. Because it doesn't really. Who do you blame? Since the time has passed, I think, like Jordan said, a little bit of it goes on Heupel. And I'm not mad at the kicker at all. I did say, though, when he kicked the field goal in overtime and hit it, I was like, you couldn't have done that at the end of regulation. That's another thing, too. We were at the end of regulation. We're just driving. We're just marching down the field. It had 22 Bama vibes all over it. I was like, I've seen this before. We're winning now. And when he missed that kick, I was like, no. And then, of course, he hits the one in overtime, and it's like, really? But
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at him, and I'm not super mad at Heupel, although I definitely get the thought process that says, hey, he kind of pussed out when we got that fumble.
I couldn't have said any better, man. That's my feelings exactly, man. I said the same thing when he made the kick in overtime. I was like, come on, you got to be kidding me, man. And this is the exact same kick. Actually, it's further back. I'm like, come on, man. The only thing I start thinking, I'm like, man, coach, why didn't the coach call timeout or something like so to go talk about it or something?
Yeah.
But
We had timeouts. If there's somebody to blame, it is coaching. But
and that's the only way you can do
then
it, man.
again,
But like, it's just I guess with me when it's those situations, why stop trying to score? Stop, don't change the game plan because like normally they do try to. They don't normally do how would I call it adjustments at halftime because I don't think I've ever seen like a huge adjustment from my team ever. I just see they come out and they do the same thing and hope that it works. Like that's the thing that I don't like about hype. I don't because the reason I say that because it's almost like he coaches as if our team is that dominant. And I don't think we're that dominant yet to just not make big adjustments yet. And that goes all the way back to, the Bama game that we should have won in Bama that time. We're kicking their butt and halftime comes back out, they're blaming all the holding calls and all that stuff, but there was no adjustments. And that's what I'm gonna call it with the Georgia loss. I didn't see many adjustments.
Right.
So that's the one thing I would love to see improve is creating new adjustments, try new things, because we're gonna need that this coming up weekend.
Well, we're about to get into the stretch run of our season. Month of October is always tough. The schedule's always been tough. It don't matter what year it is, if we're good, if we're bad, the schedule has always been hard every year in October. And we're gonna have to. I will say, kind of going into Arkansas just a bit here in a little while, and we'll get into it. We did see some new things this week, and that's cool. Well, I think I will say I think Heupel is a good enough play caller that he knows how to set things up and he knows how to build around what he's got, and I think we'll see that this week. But the Georgia game, man, it stings. Then we go to Miss State, and I'll just tell y'all right now, that Miss State game, that's a game last year we figure out how to lose. And we either go down there and we lose in overtime, or we go down there and just get absolutely whipped.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to me there just a second ago. Is our recording good?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
We're still in? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll make this one's gonna be much quicker than Georgia, because you guys already did an episode recapping the Mississippi State game. What a high blood pressure affair in Starkville, Mississippi. It was just nail biting, green. Defense looks bad, and I guess they looked the same way yesterday. We'll get into Arkansas in a second, but my main takeaway was just happy that we won a road SEC game. And I will say this too: I think Mississippi State is better than the record says they were last year. That is not the same 2-10 Mississippi State from last season that's playing right now. Mississippi State's going to win 8 games. They might get a number beside their name at some point this year.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. They're definitely a much better football team than they were last year. Much improved. Of course, now I think last week Fluff went down. He's hurt, and it was pretty bad. So that'll hurt him a bit on offense. But they had a good little stable of backs that gave us fits all night long.
Yeah, glad to get out of there with a dub though, because that is a frisky team. They'll ruin somebody's season.
Yeah,
by the time it's over with.
Yeah.
So then, gentlemen, let's talk Hogs. We play Arkansas yesterday. We win 34-31. I had to work, so I really didn't watch any of it. I got everybody and their mamas in Gatlinburg right now, so I pretty much just got to see the score change. So I'm going to let you guys take over here, starting with Billy. Billy, you were at the game. Tell us what happened.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, the game went exactly the way I thought it would go. And the reason I say that because, you had a new group of coaches that was coming in with a new game plan that these coaches didn't know what they was going up against. And I kind of had a feeling this was going to be one of those games that our team was going to be kind of getting through the motions, especially getting ready to play Alabama. But they kind of, I think, underestimated the team in a sense that this was going to be an automatic win. Well, I knew it was going to be a challenging game just because these kids was going to automatically think that they have a chance because of the way they beat us last year. And you're talking about, Arkansas team that still had the same players from last year, pretty much. Same quarterback. And well, if you would have saw him, man, he was out there. He was killing us.
He's a good player.
Us, man. I mean,
him and the running back. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, my God.
Mike Washington.
He made us look slow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man. It almost made me have that, that feeling that we had when Ohio State was just pulling away from us. Every player seemed like they was light years ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the exact same thing Arkansas did, man. It was like they had every third down was converted, seemed like. And, they had us on the ropes for a second, man. I mean, I'm telling you, if it wasn't for some of the turnovers, it could have been totally different.
Yeah.
Because they're driving down on the goal line, they fumbled the ball, and, that could have been a big, big chance for them to beat us. But, the Vols kept running the ball like they should have, man. And I said that Devin should have been the primary back from the beginning. And they finally used him, and God, I think he's hurt. So it's gonna be tough this weekend, man. I'm just glad we came out of this game with the win. The only thing I dislike is all the injuries that we had.
Yeah, we took a couple on the chin with him and Staley. But I think Staley ended up being okay.
So I don't know anything about these yet. Jordan, I'm going to let you take that over in a second. I'm going to say this one quick thing about the game. And I'm going to pose a question to you. So I know we just talked about Mississippi State a little bit, and I felt good about winning that game on the road against what I view as a good football team. Winning that game yesterday at home against Arkansas, who I was under the impression I don't feel as good about it. Jordan, do we have problems on defense?
Yeah, I think we do. Me and Billy talked about it during the Mississippi State game. They're missing something. But now I'll say this too, though. Kind of what Billy was saying, they fired Sam Pittman this week. We didn't really know what to expect. And Petrino knew that. Petrino's a lot of things, but he is a damn good coach. And I mean, he threw everything but the kitchen sink at us yesterday. And Taylor Green, the dude is a hell of a football player. But I also think that's why, we've seen missed tackles. That's fundamental stuff. That's coaching. But at the end of the day, that comes down on the player at this level. Like, you know what you're supposed to do. You know your form. You know how to do it. Go do your job. Busted coverage, pass rush, and just lack of adjustments yesterday from defense kind of just was like, what are we doing? But I'm also wondering, with the staff turnover over there, if that's why we seen what we seen yesterday, and everything just was vanilla. It seemed like not a whole lot of blitzing. Coverages were pretty easy to read. Just I don't know. We're missing something though. Like I mean, Taylor Green though, man, he lit us up yesterday. He had 63 yards rushing. He carried the ball 17 times. Granted, he couldn't hold on to it to save his life, but he did. He threw for 256 on us and 2 touchdowns. And then Mike Washington, he was right. There's holes, like he said earlier this week. There's holes. He said it, and he wasn't wrong. I mean, there was holes all day for him to run through. And then, I don't know. I don't know what they're missing. I don't know what they're missing, but
It's depth, man. It's the backups, the defensive tackles. We're missing that push up the field. It's gonna take those guys for this coming up month
yeah,
because this is where the meat and potatoes really come down to the interior line. The front seven is where the game is gonna be won and lost at for the rest of the year because
we,
the whole schedule that we have left is wow.
yeah, yeah.
It's wow, and
I'll
that's
tell
the
you what.
action. It's gonna be tough.
I'll tell you what. Meat and potato sounds pretty good right now.
It does. Steak
Might
and
be.
taters.
So I saw this a lot on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, yesterday and today, and I'm gonna throw this one to Billy because I'm sure we'll get a good reaction from you. Is it time to move on from Tim Banks?
No. Oh yeah, I'll tell you why not, man.
And I'm asking you because I don't know. I know what our defense looks like. I know.
And the reason I say it is because the play call was there. We had so many opportunities to make the play where we were up the field too far or we just completely missed the tackle. And that's something that the coach can't do for you on the field. He's going to call the play and expect for you to execute it. That's what we saw yesterday. We'd get up the field, but we wasn't flattened out to make the play in the backfield. Whether we stay on the block too long, back run straight past you. It wasn't like we were getting beat over the top or anything like that. It was because he had too much time to read the defense. Whether, you got a long drag route that's coming underneath late and he jumps it off and they get the first down. It wasn't like they just powered us. It's just misassignments in the sense of not making the play when we should have made the play in the backfield or just made the tackle. That's where all those yards came from because I'm quite sure if you go look at the stats and see the yards after catch or the yak or whatever, there's quite a bit because everything that I saw on third down, it was underneath a drag route. He catch it first down. And that's why I didn't understand why there wasn't any adjustments. No, Banks, he did a good job, man. I think he's doing okay, to win, to at least keep us in the ball game. Is just like you said, we're still missing something, and I'm gonna blame it on my defensive tackles.
I think that's part of it. I think because the pass rush is just not consistent. It's either there or it's not. Period. If we're getting there, it's usually our ends, or we're just bringing one or two too many, and they can't can get all of them. I do want to say this though. Arian Carter and Jordan Ross yesterday, hella good game. Hella good game. Arian Carter had that nice fumble recovery, the hit and fumble. Jordan Ross had one too. Yeah, those two. I think Arian Carter might be emerging as our defensive leader, so to speak. One of the young guys are coming out and saying, "All right, guys, it's on us to take control of this game, and we're gonna go do it." I think we're starting to see that with him.
No, the part I do love about the defense is, we're creating turnovers. We
Yeah,
create turnovers. We run into the ball. It's just my problem is I need more tackles for loss. I need more negative yards. We don't have a lot of that. And that game there, I'm in the stands and I see it before it happens. And I'm just like, come on, guys, you just got to flatten out, make the play. Don't get up the field so far. Wrap up. Let's do a shoestring tackle for all I care. I just need the play made.
right,
I don't need the knockout anymore because you can't knock anybody in my. Well, that's a flag now. So let's just make the play.
right. Right. They did have 9 tackles for a loss yesterday, but they needed a few more. I
Man,
mean,
we should have had 20.
yeah, they should have, because the way that boy ran around out back there for a lot. I mean, he ran for his life most nights. And
He was.
after I
That's
just
impressive.
after I sit here and say, our pass rush isn't there or isn't consistent. But I mean, he ran for his life most of the night. But yeah, they're I can't put my finger on it, but they're missing something. They're missing something.
I'll tell you what it is. I'm just going to be honest what it is. We don't have that name brand that we used to have that everybody has hyped up on our defensive line. There was the one guy that we know or expect to make the play.
Yeah,
Right now, it's team ball right now because there's nobody that's standing out.
I would agree with that.
Pierce was the man. That's all we was expecting him to make the play, make the play, make the play. He's a future first rounder. We was expecting him. Right now, we're not holding anybody on the D line accountable.
I would agree
And
with that.
I don't know if the kids understand that, and they're like, I'm the man, I'm the leader. It takes that one guy to just step up, and the rest will follow.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. I do want to bring up a couple things about the offense, though. The defense gets the turnovers. We make sure we capitalize on them. We get something out of it, even if it's just we scored on more turnovers this year than we've not. But even when we don't, we at least flip the field out of it, and that's about all you can ask. Joey's tough as a $2 steak, man. I love watching that kid play. He has won me over the last couple of weeks. I mean, he absolutely has. I'm going to ask you guys a question here, though. We always talk about how we're so impressed with our wide receiver room. Like, I don't know that I don't. When I say that, I'm wondering, were we just not expecting much out of them, or what when we say that? But now, should we keep saying every week we're impressed with them, or is it just business as usual? Like, we know what they're going to go out and do, and it's fine. Like, we're used to it at this point, or is it just every week? They do something else a little bit more to impress you.
Well, I'm gonna do what I always said. I told y'all so. It's not the quarterback, guys. I'm telling you, the quarterback's going to put the ball where he needs to put it. The receiver's going to have to do the adjustment to the ball. I don't care what it is. If you throw it over the top, you got to go get it. That's just flat blank what you got to do if you're going to become great as a receiver at the University of Tennessee. Because most of the receivers that I know that I played with or in the past, they would love that ball that he was throwing over the top like that.
Right.
I think they're not used to the DBs that are getting their chest now because it's going to get more physical as the year goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they was used to not being able to release as quick as they used to with the first few games. And now they are starting to feel that pain of somebody getting in their chest before they get off the line of scrimmage. So hopefully they know how to adjust to this because the kids they're going to play this coming up week in the next few weeks, you're going to see a couple of first and second, third rounders that you're going to be going against.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. Excuse me. Sorry. I think it's the production on offense is to be expected. I think it's an interesting flip from last year's team where the defense was carrying us, and now it seems like the offensive side of the ball is kind of our bread and butter. But
Well,
yeah, it's starting to seem like with Joey and those receivers that's what we should be expecting on Saturday. So with
Hey,
that,
real quick, we mentioned it earlier about Bishop and Staley.
yes,
Staley
that's
was back
exactly
on the
where I was
field.
going.
Was back on
Hit
the
us with
field
the
at the end
injury
of the
news.
game.
Update us here.
Yeah, he was
Who's
back on the
hurt?
field at
How
the end
long
of
are
the
they out?
game. He was back
Okay.
at the end of the game, and Bishop, that was a hip drop tackle, but he got rolled up on. He was on the sideline still in pads, everything else after the game. I think he'll be okay. I'd say they'll rest him. He was jogging around off the sidelines afterwards. I'd say they'll probably rest him a couple days this week, get him healthy, get him ready for Bama, and we'll be good on that front.
So what they end up diagnosing as the injury was? Was it a hip?
And well, it'll be his ankle. I hadn't seen anything like as far as that goes exactly what it was, but if you watch that play again, you'll see him. He gets rolled up on, and because he was caught from behind, and he just, pulled him down by his jaws. So you watch him, he gets rolled up on, and it looked bad. It wasn't bad though, I don't think. So I think we'll be okay there. Hopefully we are because we need him this week. We'll need him this week.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, most definitely need him, man. Because he's my favorite out of all of them, to be honest.
He's tough, dude. He's tough and local.
Yep.
I want to talk about this too, y'all. how damn bad were the refs yesterday?
I don't
They
know. You guys tell me.
sucked. They were terrible. Like I don't want to blame them, but they sucked. You're going to tell me for 3 quarters there was not a single hold, a single block in the back, nothing on Arkansas. But we fart the wrong way, and they're like 15 yards right there. Throw that flag. It was like some of it just seemed ridiculous.
It was. It was. I mean, I think refereeing this weekend was bad everywhere, man. It was awful everywhere, man. And some
We're
and of
gonna
course
get into that one too.
the one that comes to mind is Georgia, man. That
Yep.
was I feel bad for those kids, man, because he got away with that, man. I'm like, how can you guys not see that? Go replay it or something. You replay everything else. It's
Right?
blank right there. He's doing the timeout. Even his lips are saying time out.
We're gonna get to Georgia and Auburn after. If you guys are done with Arkansas, I would like to move on to our next.
Let's go.
I do want to say one more thing on Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
Kitzelman had a good game yesterday, blocking, catching the ball. He was top notch at tight end. He done good.
That's a position too that I think was missing the last 2 seasons. We had who was it in 2022? We had Fant and Warren, and we just haven't had any of that for 2 seasons now. And I feel more comfortable with Kitzelman.
Kitzelman's good. Ethan Davis is damn good. Even that, I can't think of the kid's name right behind him, but the third team tight end, he's good. I mean, the tight end room is good, and Kitzelman is a strong leader on offense too. I think. And then one more thing, I want to talk about Heupel after a bye week. It seems like, and you guys tell me what you think, but it seems like to me every year off of a bye week, we come out. We think during the bye week, all right, we're going to come out. We're going to look damn strong. And then we go out and put an effort out there like we did yesterday or last year when we went to Fayetteville. And it could just be the opponent. Like some teams just have a hard time beating certain teams, and Arkansas is one of them for us. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes they come out flat off of a bye week and they just look ill prepared. Like he's like, all right, guys, you got to go do what you want to, and I'll see you at practice the Wednesday before the game. Like I don't know. And I'm not knocking. I mean, you can't knock somebody after a win, I don't guess, but it's got me wondering.
I think it's my fault because of the fumble. Arkansas has given us HELL ever since '98.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. Well,
before
they gave us hell in 1998 until that play.
Now,
you think did you do a deal with Satan to recover that fumble? Did you sell our souls to Arkansas?
I don't know what to call it, but whatever it was, it happened after that because Arkansas has given us the business, man, ever since.
I don't know. Is that the last time we beat them until yesterday? Because I feel I know there was like some ass whoopings they handed us around the turn of the decade.
There's a couple more after that, but they've been few and far between. I mean, I remember Joe Adams. That's all I can think of. That damn punt return, man. Yeah, good God.
That's all I can think about. I would say, Jordan, to your question, which was actually
we're talking about Heupel after the bye week.
Heupel after bye weeks. So I actually don't have an opinion on that because I would have to see. I would like to see the games that were played after byes, and I'm not fresh on that right now. Well, I mean, Arkansas last year and Arkansas this year.
You're fresh enough then.
Well, I mean, I think
fair enough.
Bye weeks suck, period, for everybody, man. You got 2 weeks of just seeing the same thing without a game in between. It gets old, and like I said, it looks like they was just playing through the motions, man, just to get the game over with.
Well, the fans have a different impression of bye weeks. That's the week, an extra week of preparation. That's a week to get fresh from injuries. We probably have a different perspective of what a bye week means than players do.
Yeah, I would say.
I do have one more thing on Arkansas that just popped up into my little brain here. Did you guys see the outrage from the Arkansas fans before the game? Somebody in the Vol Navy had a skeleton Halloween decoration on their boat, and they had a Arkansas jersey on it, and that Arkansas jersey was a number 15.
Oh, I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Ryan Mallett, who recently tragically passed away from, I think, a drowning incident. It was even when I first saw the picture, I was like, I don't get it. I don't get what's So wrong. It's a Halloween decoration with the opponent's jersey on it. And then
it hit you.
I didn't forget about Ryan Mallett. I think about Ryan Mallett more often than most people do, I would say. He was a monster in college, and I thought he was going to be a great pro. And if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Mallett, when he transferred from Michigan initially, Tennessee was one of the favorites to get him. If I'm not mistaken, do you remember that, Jordan?
I think so. I think you're right.
That would have been about 2008-ish.
Yeah, that was.
I think it was the year we hired Dave Clawson, and if we had hired, I was told, this is from my understanding, if we had hired a different offensive coordinator, he would have been at Tennessee or something.
I could see that.
Anyway, that's all speculation. There's no fact behind that. But yeah, it was a topic of discussion for a couple of days on X.
Well, then the players kind of got into it. I don't know. I don't want to say got into it. But they were jawing after the game back and forth with Arkansas. So, I don't know. It was I think Arkansas was just a little butthurt they got beat and had to have something to hang on to. So,
well, hats off to Arkansas because they showed up, they showed out, they scared me to death, and I'm glad that one's over. I'm glad that one goes in the win column, and we can move on.
Yeah.
So speaking of moving on, third Saturday in October coming up this week. Tennessee, Alabama should be a top 10 matchup.
It is a top 12 matchup, sir. We are
Top
11th
12.
and they are 6th.
So we've got an AP poll now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've not seen that yet today.
And just a reminder to all the Bama fans, it is pumpkin, not pumpkin.
I know there was at least one. Do you have any more?
I got plenty.
Okay,
I got plenty.
let them come naturally.
They will.
So yeah, this game is Saturday in Tuscaloosa. We're the night game, yeah.
7:30 ABC.
All right. So
plenty of time to get rowdy.
Here's just another little take I have on Bama. We should always wear orange and crimson. White jerseys should be left at the house.
I like that. I'd like to see it.
Other than that, Alabama is, and I'm sure you've got. I'm gonna turn it over to Jordan here for the series history and what we are looking forward to. But Alabama is one of those teams who, at the start of the year, that lost to Florida State, I was like, okay, we're whooping them, and since then
they got it together,
turned it around, and I'm a little nervous. But Jordan, take us away with what you've got for this game.
Well, Bama leads at all time 60-40. They lead all time away from Knoxville, whether it's been in Tuscaloosa or Birmingham, 32-18. Last time we beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa was 2003, 51-43, like 8 overtime shootout. Casey Clawson. It's been a while, boys. It's been a while.
I think that's might be my earliest memory as a Vol fan. I would have been 10 at the time.
Yeah, I was a youngin' too. So
I see Billy laughing over there.
Yeah, man. 14.
Yeah,
I was 14.
Keep going, Jordan.
So lost last trip to Tuscaloosa in 2023. That was another one we should have had. I'd come out with a good game plan for that one and got conservative in the second half.
Second half, they came out and
we didn't score a point.
Yeah.
Here's one for you too. This will make you cringe just a little bit. The Vols have lost the last 10 road games in the series by an average of 20.2 points. And some of those were a lot uglier than that. But yeah, I mean, to your point.
There was a time when a 20-point loss to Bama I would have took as a moral victory.
Right. I mean, there was.
Crazy.
But now, getting to this year, we know they lost by 2 touchdowns to Florida State. It's like Florida State just prepared for that one game all year, though, and then they just were like, nope, we got it. We're done. But after that, man, I mean, they kind of got it together, ripped off wins in Athens, at Missouri, the mighty Commodores of Vanderbilt, and Wisconsin. They're 5-1, ranked 6th in the country. So it's going to be this has always been one of those games when both teams are good. You throw everything out the window, anything can happen. I mean, I still remember 2005, it was 6-3 final. I mean, there's been some ugly games in more ways than one, but this is always my favorite week of the year. Always, because Bama fans are so much fun to razz up.
Well, despite recent history, it's our biggest rival.
Right.
Jordan, do you have a spread on that game?
7.5. It opened at 8.5. Opened at 8.5 earlier today. It's already dropped a point. And the over under, yes, they are. Over under is 60.5.
Here's my dumb fan take. All right. We lost to Georgia at home. Alabama beat Georgia on the road. Why would I have hope that we beat Bama on the Bama? You know what I mean? That's my dumb fan logic.
Well,
Billy, can you give me hope?
I'm going to go opposite of that because now, everybody's going to be against Tennessee. And the spread tells me that Vegas is begging them to take Bama with the points. It's too easy. That's only a touchdown. You're trying to tell me now this Bama team is not that good anymore? They've got the same kids. I mean, they're only one class out. Only difference, yes, the coach is a big difference. But I think we got a chance to beat them. I truly do.
I think we'll go. The Mississippi State game on the road gives me a little hope for this one. I get it. Alabama's a lot better than Mississippi State. But we got it as a team. Tennessee gutted that one out. Done what they had to do. They played from either behind or tied most of the game. Never wavered, though. I mean, they never got away from the game plan. Nothing. We've got an offense. The first time we went down there under Heupel, with the same, almost, I don't want to say the same style, but with a similar style of offense that we've got now. We were in that game until Hype went for a fourth down on like our own 35, down by 10, and didn't get it. It's all going to depend on play calling. Hype needs this one. Hype needs this one bad. If he wants, I think this will shut up a lot of people, myself included, about winning on the road, because we all know how he is on the road. It's feast or famine. We either go win on the road and we go beat who we need to go beat, or we go play possum and lay down.
So I'm gonna go back and kind of go back to what we did this past summer. Remember what the prediction was of the points or how many if we play Bama this year. When Nico left, when we knew that situation at the time, because I think we did this year when Nico was gone. The question was the quarterback. Remember when I told you guys about how Vegas is when they do the lines of things? Now, all of a sudden now, I guess since we got a quarterback now, right? And now the point spread is only that single digit, like I told you guys. Now, if this point spread was minus 10.5, I would be afraid. I'm going to say we're getting blew out.
Yeah.
But when they bring the spread down anytime single digits with a team like that against my Vols, where we're supposed to be out talented, now we got a problem. That's why I said this past summer when I was telling you guys, it's not the quarterback, it's the receivers with us. If our receivers do what the stats are doing right now against Bama, they're in trouble.
I would agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Because I think our defense will get up this week. They will do what it takes. I know the coaches will have them up and ready. They will do a lot more movements instead of one-on-ones this
They're
week.
we better hope so.
I know so.
Better hope so. All right.
I know so. This offensive line is a lot more physical, especially when they got linemen that's doing the wildcat and catching the receivers.
Right.
Dude.
Right. I'm going to say it right now. I hope somebody knocks that kid's block off this week. Like, put his ass back on the line.
What a turnaround of just what I personally thought about Alabama. And I don't think I'm the only one who kind of wrote them off after Florida State. I wouldn't say I did write them off. Even during the Florida State game, I saw that Alabama A, and I was like, oh, they're going to win. Because I'm so trained to Nick Saban, Alabama. But losing to Florida State like that, they really didn't look good. And so I was like, okay, we can definitely beat Alabama. And since then, they've just, they've turned it right around. 2 big road wins, Georgia and Missouri. Missouri yesterday, tough game. And then Vanderbilt, which we'll talk a little bit about them in a second. But yeah, I'm nervous about this one. I think if it were a Saban coached Alabama team, I would have no expectation of winning. With it being Kalen DeBoer there, I think so. You're telling me there's a chance, kind of thing,
Right.
I feel more comfortable about it, but I still don't feel good.
So here, tell me this: would you feel different if we would have beat Georgia?
Yes.
Why? Because it's the exact same team. It's no different. It's going to be the same play that we're going to get. I'm telling you, this is the new norm of the SEC now. You're going to get you don't have here. There's not one team in the SEC right now that you would just say they're going to win it all.
I would agree with that.
We're gonna talk about the grand scheme of the SEC once we wrap up Bama.
My bad.
No, it's not save that for
Save it.
5
And I
minutes from now, 10 minutes from
because of how things have changed, of how the whole Porter, NIL, all that stuff is made the playing field evenly in a sense.
But
Well-
yes, beating Georgia would have made me feel better about this game.
I don't get that though.
And it's a simple there's a simple answer to it. You're undefeated.
That's like standing up and sitting down.
It's not even close to the same thing. I don't know how you equated the two.
It's the same thing.
Why would I have a different opinion? I have a different opinion because we won versus lost a game. I don't know how that. I don't see why.
I got you though. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know, but I guess with me, when I think as a player mentality, is my goal is to go out there and try to whip somebody's butt, and because I lost a game doesn't mean I can't whip their butt. So when it comes to that, it's just different though. But and I get what you're saying, because I think motivation would be totally different, and motivational with fan base is totally different. They cheer louder when you don't have a loss.
Yeah, it's nothing more. Really, it's nothing deeper than just the win-loss column. And did you win the big game where you had opportunities to win, or did you lose it? You know. And if we get into a situation again with this weekend with Alabama where it's close at the end, and are we gonna pull through? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, Arkansas and Mississippi State, sure, but we're talking about Georgia and Alabama here. Not
here. But think about it. Look what Florida State did to them, though.
That's a fair point.
So
we are better than Florida State. I know that.
It's so many hypotheticals, and that's why I'm glad you're on the show, man. I love that. That's a great analogy. Like, I never thought of it like that, but that's the way it is. I mean, I just wish it wasn't that way, and we have to just look at what we got. And right now, I mean, I can completely understand where you're coming from, because what we saw this past weekend against Arkansas is not going to work against Alabama this weekend. Because if we allow that pass across the middle like that, we're not going to catch that kid.
No. Here's one thing though I want to say: if you're 6-0, you kind of I think you can. I think there's a chance you come in kind of complacent to this one, even though it don't matter who it is. I think you've got that chance, right? I think you've got that chance. That one loss, if you have the true aspirations to make the college football playoff and go further than what you are, or what we did last year, I think that one loss gives you a little bit of a sense of urgency to not go down there and lose. I think it gives you a little bit more of that as opposed to motivation. And if you've got a sense of urgency, you're willing to take a couple more risks than what you would. And I think that Georgia game, the ball bounces our way a time or two. Otherwise, we win. We're sitting here 6-0.
One thing we didn't talk about there too is that catch that the guy made. I'm going back to Georgia. The catch, the touchdown, got it up.
The over-the-shoulder catch.
My God, you've got to be shitting me.
99 out of 100 times that ball's overthrown, but he dropped it right in the basket.
No, Gunnar Stockton can play, and I may have said this on that episode beforehand, that I was confident against Georgia because that was going to be his first road start in the SEC. And Neyland is it's no walk in the meadows. He balled out. He's a good quarterback.
He's tough.
Anyway, let's try to put a bow. We're running over an hour tonight, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry to you guys. Sorry to the listeners, watchers, viewers, the watchers. That's kind of creepy. So hit me with some. What players do we need to look out for this weekend, Jordan? For
Ryan Williams.
Did you know he's only 17 years old?
He's still 17. Jeremy Bernard. They've got two good wide receivers.
Okay.
Ty Simpson has kind of stepped his game up too, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we've got that. Defensively, they've got a couple of good defensive ends, D linemen. I mean, it's Bama. Everybody's good, But I think those three. If you go out there and you say, okay, I don't care if Ryan Williams goes to section 300 and takes piss. You follow. You stay with him. I think you shut him down. You're in good shape. Because they've got two guys that can beat you. I don't think one guy, unless it's Ryan Williams, that can carry the load.
We did well against him last season.
We did.
We did
We
well
did.
against him last season. Now, here's a question: is Jermod McCoy going to play?
That's something I don't think he does. I don't think we see him, but maybe once or twice this year.
I'm already writing him off as he's going to go ahead and just get ready for the draft.
I think that's what he's doing, and I don't blame him. I mean, that's his.
No,
That's
no,
his.
of course not. This
That's
is
his
not a knock
future.
on Jermod McCoy. Go do it. Go do it. But I'm I'm telling myself that he's not going to be on the field this year.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking. That and okay, so here's a question for you. What does a loss do to either one of these football teams this weekend?
Well, I'll be quick and I'll let Billy take the mic here because I can see he's got something to say. I will say I think that it severely damages a shot at Atlanta, but not the playoff.
Fair enough.
I'm going to agree with you there. I think it's going to hurt us more than Bama because it's just what they're going to do to give them the benefit of the
Yeah, sure.
when we're going to, of course, it doesn't matter. Tennessee fans are going to travel regardless. And that's what you really want is the fan base to travel. I don't think I don't know if Bama would travel like that if they don't think they are automatically going to win it all.
Well, my God, they went to the Who Gives a Crap Bowl last year, and half the place was barely full. So you're right there. So that being said, what does the game come down to here? Is it going to be could it be a big? I'll tell you what I think. I think it comes down to a special teams play, and I think it'll be a punt return.
I got another dumb fan take, and then Billy, you can have the mic. Running the football.
Okay.
Whoever controls the clock, controls the run game, wins.
And that is going to be the battle. Ever win the running game, this game is going to be who wins this game, I think. I don't think they've done great this year running the ball. I mean, because they have been in some battles and they've been throwing the ball a lot. And they do have two good backs. I do know
Jan
that.
Miller's good.
You're talking about a university that's going to always have running backs forever. That's just what it is now. I mean, they know that's like almost RBU now. Of course, they're not the same coaches, but it's still the same brain.
Yeah.
If we stop the run like I think we're capable of and make them one-dimensional passing the ball, I think we'll win this game easily.
I could see that.
And that's going to be vice versa. If Bama does the same thing, I think they would beat us easily if they stop our run game. And right now, with the injuries that we have right now, that's the only thing that scares me with this game right now. Do our backs step up because Bishop is hurt, or is he really hurt and he's going to play? Is he fully recovered?
I could agree with that.
Jordan, do you have any more on this game? Any more questions, suppose? Any more just things to look out for?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I don't think ESPN's giving us much of a shot. It's basically 73-27 on the FPI. So,
I'll be honest, that's about how comfortable I feel about it. 73-27.
Yeah, we go down there. It's going to be a night game.
I will feel better come Saturday.
Yeah. You know what? I always feel good. I always feel good about going down there just because those poor bastards have to live down there. Okay? I don't.
How about we do this here? Is it a way we can look at it and see first the roster, who has the edge at certain places?
I can fire up NCAA 26 here, and we can look at it that way.
I think from a talent standpoint, overall, you almost have to give Bama the edge. Just because
I would imagine so, yes.
Saban didn't leave him with nothing, But now I don't think it's a huge edge like it used to be. I think it's not.
It's not. There's not the talent disparity of say 2013. It's
right.
It's a lot closer.
I think it's more of a 2023 type thing where we know we're good enough to go down there and do it. We just have to go do it.
And I don't think it's as big of a talent gap as we saw in Columbus last year between Tennessee and Ohio State. I don't think that talent gap exists between us and Alabama this year.
No.
But I do think they probably have some more horses. Say that again, Billy.
I said it used to be that way, but I don't think that the talent is that lopsided anymore. I think we're finally got up to where we actually can say this is a 50-50 chance of winning this game.
I would agree with that. Well, and I think overall, you look at our top two receivers with Matthews, our top three receivers, Matthews, Brazel, Staley. I will say this. I think offensively, we could absolutely score a whole lot more and put points up in droves a lot easier than Bama could us. I think because Simpson, you light him up, a few times, he panics. Missouri did it yesterday. If we
I
can
will
get to
say
him,
that 27-73. The 27 is my baseline. I don't think we have no chance. And as this week progresses, I'm sure that 27 for me is going to go. I'll be close to 50-50 by Saturday.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Not 100-0. If not, by Friday night, I'll be talking shit to Bama fans at the bar.
You ain't already?
We're gonna beat them. I have one thing I want to say, this is as Billy about this. This is just something I think, but you played there. Bryant Denny Stadium, overrated home field advantage. Wait, did you play there, or were we still playing in Birmingham at the time?
We played. I played there once.
Okay, overrated home field advantage for the Crimson Tide. Am I wrong?
I mean, underrated. I mean, that place is gonna be rocking, man. I think the new norm now is playing away. It is a home advantage now because, like I said, the SEC is truly trending back to where it used to be.
I think that Alabama is a top home field in the SEC.
I think so, man, because I think it's changed, though, man, because you gotta be there to see what I'm saying.
Maybe. And I do want to get to a game down there. So if any Alabama fans hear this and, has like a crib I can crash at or something, that'd be cool. But so let me name some places that I think are better home field advantages in Alabama, and you stop me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Real quick though, you do that,
Yes.
Swan, they'll let you shack up with their nephew, son.
Worst things have happened. All right. LSU, Tennessee,
Okay.
Texas A&M, Florida.
Back in the day, I'd give you Florida.
Yes. Okay. Now, history-wise, yes, but today-wise, no. Now, the reason I say that is because it's not stacked the way it used to be. Remember what I said? When you're number one, your fans sing louder. When you're winning, it's louder. And I'm telling you,
I mean, look at the difference in Neyland Stadium now as opposed to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 10 years ago, when we had the hype with Butch Jones, Neyland Stadium was pretty hectic. Early Butch Dooley era, and then like 2018-ish to now is a much different Neyland Stadium. That totally makes sense. And I would be anxious to see an Alabama that's not the Alabama of the last 20 years, how that stadium.
well, now you got to think about it. Think about this here. It's just like what you said, the fact that we lost that game to Georgia versus us winning that game to Georgia. If we win that game, our fans are louder. Now, Alabama is on a nice streak. And now you're talking about the rivalry that we have with Alabama. The fans are going to be nuts. It is a 7:30 game. You know how long?
That's a lot of drinking going on Saturday before kickoff. I'm not. This is not my Eric Ainge moment where I'm saying, it's overrated. This is not my call to the crowd to show up. Okay.
I do exactly.
This was just something that I was thinking about. Brandon Walker from Unnecessary Roughness had mentioned it, and I was like, maybe it is an overrated stadium.
I just want to say, I really don't think
not to say they're not going to be rowdy as fuck on Saturday.
It's going to be crazy, man. I mean, like, I put all that in the equation too, man, because like even in the swamp, imagine playing a 7:30 game in the swamp and the Gators are ranked number 1 in the country. That place is going to be crazy. LSU, it's going to be crazy. Neyland Stadium, it's going to be crazy. Neyland Stadium going to be crazy. It don't matter what time it is. 12 o'clock, crazy. Everybody be at 5 o'clock and started, crazy.
It's amazing how drunk people can get by noon. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
Amazing. Well, I personally am out on Bama. Do we have score predictions, or Jordan, do you have anything else on the game?
No, but I'm going to say this. I think Vols get it done. I think they get it done. I think we get it done. I think it'll be 45-38.
Okay. Billy, you think we're winning too?
Oh God, 45. Lord, I would love that. I'm gonna go with a defensive battle, man. I'm thinking these defenses are gonna show up this weekend, man.
3-2 pitchers duel.
I'm gonna go a little bit lower, man, and go like 27-24 Tennessee.
See, the only reason I think it's a high scoring game, and I want it to be a high scoring game, is because I think that favors us. If we turn that game into a track meet, Simpson cannot keep up and sling that rock all over the place for the whole game. I think if it turns into a slow paced, grinded out game, because that's what Mississippi State tried to do to us, and we just had the horses to keep it going, because they would strike back on a 7, 8, 9 play drive, and we're sitting there. We go out, we can throw it 2 times, and we're scoring. I think a high scoring game favors Tennessee. I think if it turns into defense, Bama's got a better defense than we did. Fundamentally, right now, watching the last few games we've watched, I think overall they have a better defense.
Hey,
But
so here, let me tell you about defense. I think we're ranked like number 7 in the country.
are we? I haven't seen that.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody want to fire Banks, and he's got the number 7 defense in the country. Come on, guys.
I'm not saying fire the man.
I didn't say it either. I saw it all day yesterday on Twitter. Also, just watching the last 2 games, just seeing what we saw. I don't know. Us being the number 7 defense in the country is the most shocking thing that I've heard all day.
We up there. I'm serious. I do know for sure we're top 10.
That blows my mind. Just based on the last 2 games. And Georgia, really. I mean, we didn't. It's not like we.
Well, plus you got to think about the first few teams we played didn't score no points. So,
right. Of course, right. Our schedule's pretty front loaded too. I think we get through these next 4. November gets a little easier, but it don't get a whole lot easier.
No. This is one of those times where I think our schedule is kind of equally tough. September, October, November are kind of the same.
And the only reason I say it gets a little easier,
November we have to travel to Florida, and Vanderbilt's not gonna be easy.
The only reason I say it gets a little easier in November is we got who the hell is New Mexico State, and that's it.
Right, but we we can delve into that later. Are you guys finished with Alabama?
Let's go on to talk a little bit about the SEC. I am gonna step away for just 1 second.
Step what?
You guys keep going.
Let's take a timeout. Actually,
okay.
Can you pause it?
Yeah, I'll stop it.
We took a little bathroom break. But we're back. We're gonna. I told you guys this was gonna be a long one today. I didn't think it would be this long, but we are going to touch around the SEC and then maybe the landscape of college football as a whole. Here, first, we'll lead off with I don't know who's good in the SEC. I don't know shit. You have Alabama, who looks like shit in the first week, and now they look awesome. Georgia looks unbeatable. They come to Neyland, whoop us, they beat us. Then they drop one to Bama at home. LSU beats Clemson. Then it turns out Clemson is ass, and LSU might also be not very good. I really don't know anything. There's one team that comes to mind when I think that's the good team. A good team, that's the team that I think is the best in the SEC right now on October 12th, 2025. And that's Texas A&M. We can journey around and talk about these teams, the games that happened yesterday and what we've seen so far. Jordan, tell me who's good. What's going on?
Here's my thing, dude. The SEC is it's even, very even, I think. I mean, it's not it's not like it used to be with everybody, it's not Bama and Georgia and then everybody else. I think it's, 4 or 5 and then you've got the next 3 or 4 that can beat anybody. And then you've got, after that 3 or 4, you've got 2 or 3 that, you don't play good enough. They'll sneak up and get you. And then you've got your bottom feeders. And really and truly though, this year, there's not a true bottom feeder. I feel like the SEC is very deep this year.
Yeah. I think, and Billy, I'm going to give you a chance to talk here in a second, but it seems like, to me, there's about 7 or 8 teams that I think that could be playing in Atlanta, not win the SEC. I think that list is a lot smaller, maybe 4. But I think there's 7 to 8 teams that wouldn't shock me if they were in Atlanta in December. And it's going to be a 2-loss team versus a 3-loss team. It's just, you're right. The SEC is deep. Who is the worst team in the SEC?
I mean, I'm serious. Like, that is a very.
It was Arkansas.
I'm going to probably either say Kentucky or South Carolina.
I forgot about Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky.
I think right now, if you had to group everybody, I think Kentucky, South Carolina, and Arkansas would be at the bottom of the list, just because record-wise, South Carolina, because they have not met expectations this year. Like, they were top 15.
They're one
They
of the
have
more
been.
disappointing teams in the SEC.
And then Kentucky's just, I'm sorry, it's Kentucky football. They suck every year. I mean, it is what it is. Pick though, I mean, you almost have to say Arkansas. I mean, they've been whipped with the exception of us yesterday. But I mean, they've been whipped more times than they haven't this year. And I don't see an argument where you couldn't you couldn't say that they're the worst team in the SEC, and it makes sense.
So the SEC is very deep, and all the teams that are competing have more than one loss on their schedule coming up. Not saying that they will lose them, but saying that you can't rule them out. I looked at Texas A&M's schedule earlier today. They play at Missouri. They play at Texas. They play who's the other one? They've got LSU at home. LSU's not shabby. I think LSU's overrated, but they're not shabby. So I don't know. I have no idea who's going to be in Atlanta. No idea.
Well, I'll say this. I think it'll come down to this weekend when I think Ole Miss plays Georgia.
We'll learn a lot there.
That would determine who is basically top dog. If Ole Miss handles Georgia, you got to give it to Ole Miss because they're winning. They're just, they haven't been, winning pretty like they should. Like, for instance, should have been winning by 30 points yesterday and barely came out with the win because they cost me on a card.
Do we think Ole Miss is going to handle Georgia?
I don't. I think Kiffin will outsmart himself.
Hold on. Do we know where that game is played?
Athens.
So, with that in mind, do you think Ole Miss is going to handle?
I have to see the point spread.
Okay. I'm going to go with no information at all and say
6.5.
I think Georgia favorite 6.5.
Yep.
I'm thinking Ole Miss will win that
to
game.
cover or to win.
Win.
Okay. So
And the reason
perspective. I am of the belief I've not watched Ole Miss play a game all year. I know they were number 4 in the country last year. They're undefeated. Or last year they were number 4 in the country last week, undefeated. They beat LSU. I know that. Turns out LSU wasn't that big of a win. So, like I said, not watched Ole Miss yet. I've watched Georgia a couple times. I think Georgia should wear them out.
Well, here,
Uneducated opinion, but that's what I think.
Think about this here. We just saw our offense handle Georgia's defense. And I said our offense. Now, we're talking about a guy, mastermind of offense. I'm going to call him a guru offensive guy because he knows how to trick you to make you think he's doing something where his guy's wide open. He is a great game planner when it comes to offense.
He's a great schemer.
Now, the one thing that he does is, he does some dumb stuff sometimes when he probably shouldn't have did it because he's trying to play the video game in a sense. But I think Kiffin would put up enough points to handle it because he's not going to take off the gas pedal like we do. He likes to have fun. He enjoys seeing his kids score touchdowns. He don't mind running the scoreboard up. He don't care what the media says about him. And that's the part that I like about his game planning is he loves to score. He wants to have fun. He knows what those kids want to do. Now, defensively, I haven't heard him much about the defense because I don't know who's the coordinator over there or anything, but looking at how many points they've given up, they have done a good job all year. They're only giving up 100 points, I think. And that is huge. So I think if Georgia play anywhere near they played against us, Ole Miss will wipe them.
For rooting interest's sake, I hope you're right. I hope you're right because I wouldn't root for Georgia against our ISIS.
And now we got what you call two guys that know how to get on the refs' nerves by making fake signals.
Yes. So before we get too much further into this, let's talk about that game last night. Georgia at Auburn. Again, this is another one I did not see because I was at work. But I've seen a couple of things on X, a couple of clips. I saw the goal line stand there by Georgia. Should it have been a touchdown? I've not seen the replay at all. I've just seen the live play as it happened. They're on the goal line. They try that tush-push play. And the next thing you know, you see a Georgia player running the other way with the ball. And I've seen the phantom timeout. My understanding of this game is that the officiating was wacky as all get out. So
my ass.
You guys tell me what the hell happened, what I should think, and why. Jordan.
I'll tell you what happened. The refs bailed them out. Georgia should be sitting here with 2. Yes, Georgia should be sitting here right now with 2 losses.
And Billy,
no questions asked
with that Georgia got.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that wasn't a goal line stand, man. The ball, I mean, there's pictures of that play where the ball has crossed the goal line.
in the hands of the Auburn player.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so 'cause that was huge. That Auburn was up 10-0 at the time. That would have made it 17-0.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
And
changed
instead,
a
if
lot of
I'm
the
thinking
game.
right, they had to settle for 3, and it was 13-0, and Georgia. And no, it wasn't 13-0. Never mind. Scratch that. They ruled it a fumble. If I'm thinking right, Georgia ended up with it, and it went the other way. And there we go.
And what happened with the timeout situation?
Kirby Smart is literally making the timeout signal. You can
From
read the
understanding, that's
man's
what happened,
lips.
yes.
You can read that man's lips saying timeout, 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 timeout. Yeah. And he convinces, yes, he convinces the ref that he was clapping.
I've been watching football for 20 years. I'm not an expert, but I enjoy the game. I've seen that exact thing happen so many times, and every time it's a coach trying to get a timeout, and now all of a sudden it's not. I don't understand. Also, like I said, didn't see the game. What is happening in that game? What is the in-game situation that transpires that event? What's happening in the game? Does Georgia need a timeout?
I think he thought they needed one, and if I'm wanting, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but I did see that, and I want to say it was right before that fumble, and yeah, it was right before the fumble. That was not a fumble, and he was trying to call timeout because he didn't like what Hugh Freeze trotted out there on the field, and he said, "No, I don't." They recovered the fumble, and the ball went their way, and he said, "No, I was not calling timeout. I was clapping." And if he's clapping, I'll kiss both your bare asses right here on Vols Out.
He was not clapping.
Exactly.
But here's what I can't wrap my brain around is why would he call a timeout, get the timeout, and then claim that he did not call a timeout? I don't understand what could have been happening situationally in a football game that would require that behavior, you know?
Wish I could tell you, buddy. Wish I could tell you.
I got to go watch it now.
Yeah, I'm so lost. I'm so lost as to
the clips of him doing the timeout signal, and then they come back and show him doing the clap signal, and it's obvious he's running down the sideline trying to get a timeout in.
Yes.
I mean, the film shows it.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
And so that's what I want to find out. Like, why did they not give him the timeout?
So it ended up Georgia was not charged a timeout, but they got a timeout. Is what you're telling me.
Pretty much.
The whole I'm perplexed, guys. I don't know. I don't understand.
Basically how it was fun on TV was they'll just replay the down. It's a shit show, boys.
One of the more peculiar officiating moments and officiated games, I guess that I can remember.
Yeah, it was something, man.
Florida went down to Texas A&M and got beat.
They did. Florida was in that game, though.
What's Billy got for us right here? What's up?
So it says, during the recent Georgia-Auburn game, controversial play occurred when Georgia coach appeared to signal for a timeout as the play clock was expired. However, after officials stopped play, Smart argued that he was clapping to get a penalty called on Auburn's player for clapping.
Oh, yeah, I read something about that. It was something about Auburn players were clapping, and it was throwing off something to do with the offense, which
I think he was trying to say they're simulating the snap count.
And so the officials agreed with him that they were clapping. And that's the part that I don't get, though, because how are you going to determine that if you're clapping is the reason why it's obstructing the offense? I mean, if I'm trying to get my teammates' attention, hey, come on, guys, and this shouldn't even be an issue when the quarterback's back there doing this to do
It comes back to the whole. You guys remember the Michigan thing from a couple of years ago, where they were,
exactly what it was.
Reading hand signals. It can't be illegal to read hand signals. It can't.
Right.
It simply can't. That's fair play. If you're doing the signals and everybody and their mama can see it,
right?
That should be. You got to have something in play to combat that, but it shouldn't be illegal. And the same thing if Auburn players are trying to screw with Georgia offensive players while their offensive, their snap count, what be it? If that's not against the rules, and if it is, then I just don't know. Somebody get in the comments and tell me.
And now just reading on, it makes sense that he had to be calling a timeout because the play clock was getting to expire.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm just dumbfounded by the whole thing. I need more information. I'll do it later. But that is one of the more wild things, and it plays to the theory that your top teams in the SEC get what they want officiating wise. It happened. We saw it with Alabama for years, and now Georgia is the new Bama.
Happened to the referee to let them know that Auburn players, that's not his job. I mean, the ref, if the ref can see it, how you going to agree with the coach?
He's calling a timeout for sure. He's calling a timeout. So it was a screwy game. Auburn got hosed. It's plain as day. The fact that none of this can be explained logically tells me that Auburn got screwed. They should have beat Georgia.
They should have. Georgia should be sitting here right now with 2 losses and worried about if they're going to catch a third one and not making the playoffs.
They really should be.
And they should have 3. Right.
So I want to play a little game that you guys used to play here on Falling Out, called Start Bench Cut. We're gonna start the team that we think is an SEC contender. You're gonna bench somebody who may be a contender, but you're just not sure, and then we're gonna cut a fraud. I'm gonna start. You go ahead, Jordan. Jordan, take us off here.
Hot take. I'm gonna start the winner in Tuscaloosa Saturday night. I think right now those are your 2 best teams. Wow. I think that they're probably your closest. How do I put this? I think they're probably they're probably the 2 best teams just simply because Bama's recovered really nicely. We have won 5 games, and the one game we lost, we should have won. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bench. Here's my thing though. I'm gonna bench 2 on this. So we'll give you 2 bench. We'll give you 2 bench on this. I'm gonna bench Georgia. Reason being, they should be. I just said it. We just said it. They should be sitting here with 3 losses. They got the benefit of the doubt in Auburn and Alabama. I don't know what it is about Alabama, but when Georgia plays them, it's like they forget how to play football.
Can't beat them.
Cannot do it. Like a soapy pecker, you can't beat it. I'm going to bench Oklahoma just simply because Texas did woodshed them this weekend. That's a rivalry game, though. Anything can happen in those games. Up until that game, Oklahoma's looked pretty solid. They've got a good defense. They're about to hit their stretch run, though. They have to come to Neyland. I think that's a solid bench. My frauds, Cutting, Texas, LSU. Texas was preseason number 1, dropped out of the top 25. Now they're ranked 20.
Solid. Billy, do you have picks for this here?
I got one more.
You got Jordan.
One more, and I'm cut. And my other fraud, and this might be a little bit of a hot take.
I think you said LSU.
Did I? You
did say you were cutting LSU.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, okay.
Listed as my cuts, and I've got one that hasn't been mentioned yet.
The only reason I say that, though, about LSU, and looking at who they've beaten, and the one team they've lost to is Ole Miss. So they've not got any bad losses. They've just not looked good winning.
No, yeah.
So you could make a strong case to have them on your bench, too, just like you could cut them. But what do you guys got?
So are we keeping this SEC, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, man, this is pretty easy, I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably go with start. I'm gonna start A&M, man. I'm a defensive guy, and these guys are playing great defense right now, man. Especially conference wise at that. No one is scoring on these guys. I'm gonna cut Alabama automatic, man.
Ooh, okay.
I got to get them out of the way because they get the benefit of the doubt regardless. I'm tired of that. Get them out of there. Bench is going to be hard because I got 2 teams that, gosh.
Give us both of them. Bench them both.
I'm going to bench Ole Miss, man, because Kiffin, he can kiss my ass, man, because he did us wrong, man, because we should have never went through that drought.
Yeah.
And I still blame him for the drought, man, because if he would have stayed, who knows what the volunteer would have been like right now.
Or even just been so kind as to turn the job down politely.
Yes.
We also mismanaged after he left. There's things we could have done better than hiring Derek Dooley.
I think we mismanaged from the beginning because I don't think they physically replaced a legendary coach with anybody that filled his shoes,
True, but who would have been a better replacement for Fulmers than Lane Kiffin, though? I thought Lane was great. He left
Yeah,
us shitty. He left
I
us in a shitty situation. But I think that was the best hire we could have made post Fulmer at that time.
I
The
don't
only
think
other name being John
I
Gruden.
I I I think if what we should have did at the time was either hire a hot coach that was in college,
Who was
or
it? Gary Patterson?
there was a bunch of teams at the time, coaches that could have did that, or you got to stay within the program.
Yeah. Promote cut or get Cutcliffe back
Yes,
at the time.
give somebody like cut, give them the job and see what they can do. Right? Because I just don't think they did enough to replace Coach Former at that time. I
No,
think
probably
that was
not.
the
But they
biggest mixed management.
definitely.
Granted, Coach Kip, it could have been legendary if he would have just did the dang job.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I love Lane.
Just imagine this here. Imagine if he would have continued to recruit the way he was recruiting and continue to get the guys that was already coming to Tennessee. We already is a recruiting funnel. We're getting your kids in any state that we want. And he comes in with the hype of the program, get everybody talking back about the program, and then he just leave us high and dry like that. I'm gonna call it. I'm always call it when somebody leave the Lane Kiffin like. Nico did the Lane.
I don't know what happened, man. I didn't mean to leave.
It's all right, dude.
Sorry. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it shows up that in y'all's thing that I'm being removed and then I have to get back in. I have to reload something. Anyway, doesn't matter. My start bench cut. I'm with Billy. Start A&M. That's the best team I've seen so far in the SEC. They've they won. They went to Notre Dame and won. They've left no doubt as far as the SEC teams they played. I think A&M is the best team that I've seen so far in the SEC. I wrote several teams down for my bench, and Jordan mentioned a few of them. Oklahoma, I'll bench because they lost to Texas, who is in my cut category. Georgia's on the bench because I don't know what to think about them anymore. And then I'm the opposite of Jordan. I have Tennessee and Bama both in my cut because I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Or I'm sorry, I have them on my bench. Not rolling them out, but I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm watching this year in college football. It's been awesome. I love watching college football this year, but I don't know shit.
It's been
Ole Miss is kind of a start bench fringe because they're undefeated, they're top 5 ranked, but they've not played anybody. And that includes the team on the start of my cut list, which is LSU. They beat Clemson, and they jumped up in the poll for that, and Clemson sucks. I don't think LSU's that good either. Texas is on the cut list. They just, like you said, Jordan, they started number 1. Now they're unranked. They've got talent. They're no longer competing for the SEC. And then let's just go ahead and cut Vanderbilt, guys. Let's just go ahead and cut them loose.
Yeah.
It's
I thought it went
Vanderbilt.
without saying, but we do have to say it.
We know what's gonna happen there. We know how that story ends. But yeah, that was start bench cut brought to you by Yeehaw Vol Lager. Not officially, of course.
If they want to make it official, though,
We'll take it.
You might be on to something there now. They got everybody got something. They got the energy drinks. They got all this.
Yeah.
Let's slap it on there.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of product. I'm not afraid of product placement.
No,
I'll hold this here the entire time. This podcast is brought to you by Zen. So if you guys have a little more time, I know we're way over time here. Do we want to touch on anything going on around in college football right now? Because it was a crazy weekend. I've got here 7 top 25 teams that got beat this week. We had a big time coaching job just came open today.
Oh my God.
There's a team in the Big Ten that has proved themselves as an elite team. And there's another team in the Big 12 that I think is a national title contender. But yeah, we're going to get through this as quick as we can. So 7 teams got beat yesterday. Number 3, Oregon lost. Number 6, Oklahoma. Number 14, Missouri. Number 15, Michigan. Number 17, Illinois. Number 22, Iowa State. Number 25, Florida State. All beat yesterday. The college football plane has been shaken moving forward. I got a feeling with the way the transfer portal and NIL is, this is going to be what we're looking at. Do you guys remember that 2007 season?
Yeah, this is
Where
very much like that.
anytime somebody got in the top 2, they got beat right away.
Yeah,
West Virginia's was up there, Kansas,
Louisville, South Florida,
Matt Ryan. Where did Matt Ryan play? Boston College.
Boston College.
All these teams got up there. They kept getting beat. We had a 2-loss national champion. I feel like with the state of college football now, that it's going to be 2007s again for the next few years.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I want to say though, I think Florida State, they rode the coattails of that Bama win long enough. I think we're starting to see what they really are. I think we've already known what they were. They are what we thought they were.
Yeah,
And we let them off the hook.
Yeah, we did, because they beat Bama.
I think they're fixing to come back down to reality. I don't think Michigan is as good as they have been.
Michigan's highly overrated. USC took them to the woodshed yesterday.
They shedded them yesterday. Oregon, I think Oregon just had an awful game.
Yes. So let's stop with them. So you guys remember I was saying about the SEC, I don't know who's good and who's not. The rest of college football is the same way. I don't know what's going on anymore. I thought Penn State was good.
So
was
did they.
good. Oregon went up there and beat them. I was like, man, Oregon's tough. Penn State's still tough. Penn State's still right there. Losing to Oregon's no shame in that. Penn State then the next 2 weeks goes out to LA where they play UCLA. Nico's out. Nico Iamaleava. UCLA to that point had not. They're 0-4. They had not led for a single second in a game this year. No point in 4 games did they have the lead on their opponent. Beat the shit out of Penn State.
Beat them bad. It wasn't close.
Beat the shit out of them. Then Penn State comes home to play Purple Vandy and gets beat at home. They did lose Drew Aller for the season. They lost their quarterback, their star quarterback. And now today the news drops that they cut ties with James Franklin.
Couldn't happen to a finer guy.
I agree. So it's big news because listen, Penn State, when James Franklin was hired, was on the brink of that was some. We think we've been through tough times. What happened at Penn State was
disastrous.
Yeah, I don't think we would come back from that. James Franklin to Penn State at the time was a home run.
Yes.
And they've won some big games here. The knock on James Franklin since he's been at Penn State is always he can't win the big game. He can't beat Ohio State. They are willing to tolerate going 9-3, losing to Ohio States and Michigans when they're good and things like that. They're not going to sit back and take losing at UCLA and then losing at home to Northwestern. He was toting that line for years. He crossed it. It's over. And I think there's a name, and we're going to talk about this team in this game. I think the reason that they were willing to let him go right now is to go ahead and get a head start on trying to get Kurt Cignetti from Indiana. Indiana is a legitimate football team. That is a national championship contender. They just went to Oregon, and I think they won by 10, but they bullied Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
They bullied Oregon. And you're talking about a coach who's been there for 2 years, and he's in year 1, they make the college football playoff, and in year 2, they're a national title contender. I don't know what he's doing up there. He's a hell of a coach, and I think teams recognize that. Schools like Penn State see what Kurt Cignetti is doing at Indiana and saying, I want that. It's not going to stop with Penn State. It's not. There's going to be other job opportunities that come open that surely to God can persuade the coach of Indiana to come and be on the sideline there.
You would think.
Well, I'll tell you this here. I couldn't even be mad if I was James Franklin right now, man. You talking about a nice paycheck?
$50 million buyout?
Bruh,
I think.
What door do I go out of?
Yeah.
I am retired. I am done.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to sing the Michael Jackson, Leave Me Alone.
Yeah, get ready to see James Franklin on the Big Ten, on the Big Noon kickoff for the next 5 years. And then as soon as that buyout goes out, somebody will hire him. Somebody will want to.
And that's what you do. That's exactly what you do. But you're onto something. I didn't even think about that. I forgot about what Indiana is doing right now. Heck, I mean, there's a couple of teams that are doing some good things right now that It's very surprising. I give you another team you go look at. See, everybody was trying to tell me that Texas Tech,
That was my Big 12 team that I said I think is really, really good.
but
It's
you have
Texas
a
Tech.
sneaky Georgia Tech team
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
that is very dangerous. That offense, oh my God, man, they actually throwing the ball now.
They got a
Yep.
stud quarterback, man. Haynes King is a beast. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen sick uniforms coming this week for Georgia Tech. It makes me a little more comfortable with Adidas.
Okay. I have to check them.
When Tennessee moves to Adidas, Georgia Tech's uniforms are going to be awesome Saturday. Actually, it might have been this last Saturday. I don't know. I missed. Anyway, yes, Georgia Tech's a good team. Texas Tech, I think, they'll win a playoff game, maybe two.
Let's just hope we don't, if we make it, we don't play it.
Yeah,
With that
yeah.
prediction.
Texas Tech's scary. Texas Tech's a team I would not want to see. I want to get back to this one thing on Indiana. So yesterday at the bar, I had this group of younger, probably 24, 25-year-old Indiana fans sitting at the bar, just acting like idiots. Of course, I mean Indiana's never been there before. I'd be the same way, I'd be the same way. But then I made the comment. I was like, man, I didn't see this coming at all. And so they proceeded to talk shit to me, like I don't know ball or something, which I self-admittedly don't. What has Indiana done to make me expect them to beat Oregon? Except for nothing. They got to the playoff last year on a cupcake schedule. They got smoked, and it's Indiana. Just because you're Crimson don't make you Alabama.
Well, there you go.
And your coach is going to leave you. Your coach is gone. There's no way in hell Kurt Signetti stays at Indiana.
I
There's
would
no
agree
way.
with that.
Anyway, I think we have gone well over time. We've talked about just about everything. Do y'all have anything else that we may have skipped?
I think we're good, man. Unless Billy's got something.
Well, I mean, I was wanting to talk about Memphis too.
Do it.
Memphis,
Got
they're balling too. They're undefeated. Granted, they ain't ever played anybody the schedule, whatever, but they're still undefeated. The whole state of Tennessee's teams are balling right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're the best state in the country. I don't know why anybody expects less. I wish our pro team was good. Shout out to the Nashville Soccer Club, the first Tennessee professional sports team to win a championship. The Nashville Soccer Club. Maybe we can talk their coach into coaching the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, gosh, bro, the Titans.
What's the worst that could happen? Everybody's seen Ted Lasso. He went from college football to pro soccer. What's the difference?
The only reply
right,
I got to
Jordan-
that is
Jordan-
go Pack Go.
Jordan, wrap us up, buddy.
Well, guys, you know what? I just want to tell you guys, this was a fun one tonight. And I love you both like an Alabama redneck loves his sister.
No, you don't.
You're right, I don't.
That's not
I
possible.
don't.
No greater
But,
love exists in nature.
No. That being said, let's end it how we always do, man. Go damn Vols.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.